All right, I am actually super excited to bring you this particular real-world asset crypto RedBelly network. I did an episode the other day, and I'm going to do more, where I'm looking at small cap RWA, looking for those that are actually tokenizing things. And one of them that I spoke about was RedBelly Network. And as I was doing it, I said, hey, I think I'm going to dig more into this one because it looks pretty interesting. And so I did that. I also got some comments that said, yeah, that one looks interesting, both on x.com and video comments. So thank you. Let's do that. Secondly, I got some comments because I asked for them. Hey, what do you think of my show? Whatnot. And a couple people said, and I greatly appreciate this, get to the point. You talk too much, basically. Makes sense. Okay. So I do this 6 days a week. My disclaimer is big dumb animal. Don't do what I do. Also down below, you'll find a link to a school account. If you're someone that needs help, I'm putting up a lot of videos and I'm doing more on simple things. Well, not simple things, but on the back end. Instead of just talking about crypto, which I do, how to use a wallet, how to transfer assets, if you're interested in debanking yourself, what about buying things in an IRA, all that kind of stuff, which I think is very important, especially if you're new to crypto. I'm making little classes so that you can learn about it quick, easy, because YouTube isn't great for that sort of thing. It's difficult to make a series of shows about a particular topic so you can learn it. Secondly, please do hit that like button. I've learned that likes and comments help the show greatly. In other words, to get it out, it feeds that YouTube algorithm. Just put comments on anything. Do you like it? Do you not like it? RedBelly Network, what we're talking about today, or anything else. Let's jump right into RedBelly Network. I'm going to give you some information without going to all the sources just to keep it quicker. They started in 2021. They raised about, it looks like 4 million in venture capital. It's being coded and created by a bunch of Roos. If you don't know, Roos are software developers in Australia. I'm pretty sure that's what they call them. I'm like 99% sure they're called Roos. And then what it is a layer one for RWA, for real world assets. Now, what I'm most excited about, two things, but first, I'm going to put up here the description that Forbes gives, because we won't have to go into the whole website. Let me just read you this. We'll talk about it briefly. RedBelly Network is the world's first formally verified blockchain. It was developed in Sydney, Australia, in collaboration with this agency. They have a patent in the US. Here we go. It enables RWA asset issuers to tokenize and trade compliant on-chain structured products. Great. That means, and we'll talk about their customers in a moment, that they can tokenize whatever they want to tokenize and they're able to trade it. That's important. What's the point of tokenizing something if you're not able to trade and sell it? That's why RWA is so important on-chain. RedBelly Network integrates full user identity and accountability at the transaction layer. This is great. This is important. Protecting user PII with zero knowledge proofs and verifiable credentials. Why does that matter so much? Well, look, every developer out there can tell you how cool their on-chain is, how it's scalable, how it's secure, how it's this, and they'll talk all about that. But rarely do you hear a developer talk about the real world application and how their solution is going to actually apply to what the customers need. If you're going to build something and your customers don't want it, it's going to die. So here they're saying, look, this is very important. If you're not familiar with the zero knowledge proof, it protects what they say PII, personally identifiable information. It allows something to be verified without showing the person's personally identifiable information. That is going to be huge for many different reasons in many different ways, particularly in RWA. But at the same time, they have that information. The person or entity or whatever it is has been verified. Okay. This ensures proper licensing, jurisdiction compliance, eliminates the need for the repetitive KYC processes. Okay, eliminates the need for the repetitive KYC. KYC, know your customer. You go online, you sign up for something, you got to show them your license or your passport or whatever. You got to go through this verification process, but you don't want all that personally identifiable stuff to be out there. Okay, so this eliminates the fact to have to do that over and over again. Compliance is automatically enforced and customized by asset class and jurisdiction, removing the need for offline registries and paper-based checks. RedBelly enables asset issuers to build digital registries, creating a single source of truth for the entire asset class. And it goes on and on. So they have thought about and implemented an RWA layer 1, which takes into account what their customers want. Great. That's step 1. Now, the second thing, and why I talk about I'm so excited about this one, is in general, I found this site that shows all these different indicators, and all of them have a red X. Short story, it means that we're not yet in the altcoin cycle of this bull run. This is January of 2025. What do we believe? I believe that, and for what I've seen from most people, it's going to be anywhere from 3 months to 12 months, somewhere in 2025. Let's just peg it at 6 months and say that this bull run is going to go for 6 months. Okay, fine. Now I want to find smaller cap that I think are going to take off. That's my goal. I'm talking about a 3 to 6 month time frame of the bull run. So I thought, you know what? I think I can put all cryptos into one of 3 categories. Category 1, they have a test net, which means they're just testing it. They talk about how great it is. You read about how great it is, but they're still just testing it. That's category 1. Category 2, they have graduated to what they call their main net. It's fully functional. It's ready to go. It's ready to be used. They talk about how great it is. Wonderful. Phase 3. Phase 3 is they've got a main net and they have real world customers and real world usage. Do I believe that in 3 to 6 months, someone who's currently in a test net is going to graduate to a main net and talk to a bunch of people and sign some deals and get real customers using it in a large enough way that they've got multiple customers that's going to make that valuable in 3 to 6 months? I don't. So I'm only looking at them if they're going to be in this third, is that the right finger? Yeah. If they're going to be in this third category, which is they're live, they're running, they have customers. That's what RedBelly Network is. That's why I'm talking about it and buying it. I said that. I'm buying it. So they've got real world usage and customers. Let's talk about 3 of their different customers real quick. I already queued up. If you scroll down, you can read their whole website. I'm going to save you time. But here are the 2 videos that talk about these various customers. Let's get into, and I queued up this video right here, just a minute. Listen to this gentleman.
So why did we choose RedBelly as our layer 1 blockchain solution? There's a couple reasons which we thought put RedBelly above alternatives. The first and foremost is its instant finality, because we strongly believe in the financial services industry that we want to make sure that things not just happen, but we know when they're going to happen and the fact they did happen. A second choice or reason why we chose RedBelly was very much for its speed and its ability to scale from a transaction volume perspective compared to alternative solutions. We strongly believe that when people transact these assets, they want instant settlement, meaning they get their cash when they sell their shares, or conversely, they get their shares right away as soon as they make their payment. And that's what attracted us to RedBelly from a speed of transaction point of view. One more reason that we thought was incredibly compelling for RedBelly as a layer 1 solution is its EVM compatibility. We know that everyone develops on Solidity. It's the premier blockchain smart contract language, and we chose RedBelly because of that compatibility, because it meant that we could develop our smart contracts quickly, efficiently, to industry best practice, and know with confidence it's going to run on the blockchain.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there. This company is called Liquidize. So when you're doing research and you're looking at various crypto and you go online, what are you usually going to find? You're going to find something on x.com. That's great. Someone's typed about it. You're going to find a press release. That's great. But that's all marketing talk. The best possible source of information you can get is a customer. Now, he's the CTO of this company, and he's saying, this is exactly why I chose it. There is no better source of information than that. They are tokenizing 500 million of private equity. He goes on to say a couple things. They chose them because they're layer 1, not a layer 2, and it's fast and it's scalable. He talked about EVM compatibility, but he goes on to say he's very interested because of the KYC, know your customer, anti-money laundering issues, and the regulatory compliance, which is huge. If the layer 1 handles the regulatory compliance, that's going to save everyone a ton of time. Okay, the next one, and I queued this up, is Hutley and RedBelly partner to tokenize 1.8 billion of rent rolls.
RedBelly, you need to be a fully identified and fully verified person to be able to transact. using zero knowledge proof, which was also important to us around protecting the identity and personal information of the counterparty.
Okay, so he goes on to talk. Now they talk about what they call this customer, 1.8 billion of rent rolls. I'm going to put up here on the screen and read to you rent rolls. Okay, rent rolls refer to the detailed records or list of rental properties and their associated tenants, including information about the rent payments, the lease terms, and all the other relevant financial detail. Essentially, it's a document or database used by property managers, landlords, real estate investors to track the income generated from rental properties. He spoke about the fact in his video that there could be 80 different pieces of data on any one property that they extract from these contracts. In context, the tokenization of 1.8 billion in rent rolls means they're using digital representations, tokens, of the income producing assets, the rental properties and leases, that are tied to the real estate investments. By tokenizing rent rolls, these assets can be more easily traded, managed, and potentially used for investment or liquidity purchases on the blockchain. Okay, to me that's huge because I think one of the largest markets outside of stocks, equities, treasuries, and financial instruments being tokenized, let's talk about another industry, real estate. My goodness, the size of the real estate market in any country is phenomenal. And a lot of it is very antiquated. If you've gone out and bought or sold a house, you think to myself, why can't this process be easier? Well, this is interesting because they're coming at it from the aspect of landlords and people who are investing in real estate. To me, crypto has to make the market more efficient. It has to have less friction. If not, then no one's going to move to a solution on blockchain to displace what they're currently doing if it doesn't have benefits. And this clearly does. And that's why I believe that's going to take off with respect to real estate. And another thing that's very interesting, you're going to get ancillary benefits. So all this information's online. And the reason I showed you that clip was because to them, it's very important that, of course, it's the know your customer, but again, no personally identifiable information needs to be disclosed. So all this information that the landlords or investors have, it's not going to identify them. However, they've already been vetted. So that means that the people are comfortable doing a deal, selling a property, buying a property. They know that they've been verified and all of that, the due diligence, if you will, has already been done. Okay, another huge ancillary benefit to this, and this is going to be gigantic, is if you're not familiar with investing in real estate, you can do what's called a 1031 exchange. Okay, so I'm going to try to keep this short. Let's say you buy a house and a secondary home and you're renting it out over time and it goes up in value. You paid $100,000, 10, 20 years later, it's worth $300,000. You have a gain of $200,000. You sell it and you're going to pay on that gain, that $200,000. However, you can do in the US an exchange. You can basically roll that property, get rid of it, and roll that property into another property. And you don't pay on the gains. So use your $300,000 and buy a $300,000 property and roll it in. So it's a complicated process, but the important thing is there's a way for you to continue to upgrade, if you will, and never have to pay property tax. Now, if you ever sell it, you will have gains. However, if I had it and I die and I give it to my kids, the basis that they get is not the $100,000 that I paid. It's the $300,000 that it's now worth when it transfers to them. Do you see the significance of that? That gain will not be taxed. You can upgrade and actually add capital. There's many things you can do. Anyway, huge ancillary benefit to this market. But what's important is they're in phase 3. These are customers. They're using it. They're doing this right now. Let's continue. I'm almost done. I saw a website that said they had around 3.4 million in revenue in 2024, I believe. I'm not sure how valid that is. So let's just assume that's not the case. But let's look at their chart. Like I said, they launched. However, the token itself only launched in December of 2024. You can see it here. It started around, 4 cents, shot up to somewhere around 40 cents or more, and now it's down around 18 cents. It's only on it is on MEXC, Gate.io, I looked on Uniswap, wasn't there. So this brings up another point. If you're new to crypto, and let's just say you use something like Coinbase, that's an exchange. You can use Coinbase, the wallet, which that way it's in self-custody. It's more secure. I'm not going to get into all that, but what I'm going to say here is learn other things like MetaMask, learn Uniswap, have accounts on multiple networks. Who knows when this market takes off, where you may or may not be able to sell or liquidate some of your things. But when opportunities like this come up, if you have accounts in multiple places, that would be great. Just know that something like MEXC, if you want to buy there, you might have to use what's called a VPN. Hypothetically, if I were to buy it, that's how I would do it. Not going to get into all of that, but that's it. Hopefully this episode was short, sweet, and to the point. I love RedBelly Network. It's a $187 million market cap. It has a 1.8 billion fully diluted. I can't believe it's not on more markets yet. I think this is a great opportunity because they're in the third phase and they have customers. So I'm in, and you may want to consider it. Big dumb animal, don't do what I do. Have a great day. Hope we can all make generational wealth together with crypto. I'm going to do more on RWA and other episodes, see if we can uncover some more. Have a great day.